Once again, Sadanand Dhume, as Sanjay Roy was very interestingly talking about, how events like this, of course, do have, first responders on scene, and there is police protection that is given to events like this. I mean, it's really unprecedented to see what we've seen happen at this stadium. This is a location that is known to host such events and lectures in the past. And in full public view, I mean, there's a stadium full of people, as you can see in those pictures. A man walks up on stage and first punches and then stabs Salman Rushdie even before he's spoken. He was being introduced when this attack took place.
Well, in places like this, I mean, they tend to be pretty low key. They don't tend to have a ton of security.
Sure.
I mean, the point is that, people are on holiday. They're there to sort of, nourish their minds. This is not sort of this is not a place or a kind of venue that one would associate with violence. This is not a high profile rock concert or something like that, right? Where you sort of, where you would. So in much of the country, I mean, despite the fact that there has been gun violence and there have been mass shootings, generally, if you were to go to a place like that, you would find that it's pretty relaxed and pretty low key. And so this is, quite a shock. I mean, I haven't gone into the details of this particular venue,
right,
but I would be very, very surprised if they had ever experienced something like this before. And again, I think, it all sort of, it's all going to come back to when we find out more details about the crime, to sort of be able to draw larger conclusions about its significance to freedom of expression and to the world. But I have to say that on the face of it, it is not looking very good, because most people's minds instantly and understandably jump to the events of more than 30 years ago.
Sure.
Sadanand, I understand the reason why you are reserving your comment on whether this is an attack on freedom of expression or speech. But, Salman Rushdie has been out and about. He is to be seen in public spaces, on the streets, walking around. Dr. Tharoor was talking about it a short while back. The attacker could have attacked him at just about any place. If he chose a venue where there was a large audience, walked up on the stage and then stabbed him, does it appear to be that the attacker was then trying to make a statement?
Look, I mean, again, we're speculating, and so I have to include a lot of caveats. But on the face of it, based on the information that we have, look, it could just be that there's somebody who wanted to target Mr. Rushdie because of his views. And because this is an event, the event would be advertised and so on, right? Now, if he's just walking around New York, you'd have to know much more. You'd have to know where he lives, what's his neighborhood, what time he goes out. It's just that much harder. Whereas if you see a poster and it says, Salman Rushdie is going to be here, it gives any perpetrator, any attacker more time to plan. And Mr. Tharoor and others who pointed this out are absolutely right that over the years, Mr. Rushdie has rebuilt a normal life. He has not been in hiding. He has given numerous lectures. He has been out and about. And that shadow of the death sentence that had hung over his head for many years seems to have passed. Unfortunately, now, of course, that's the first thing that's going to be on everyone's mind again.